Hey guys, it's Ash and P.
Oh my gosh. Hi. Hello.
Hi.
I'm a little bit of a stickler. A stickler.
A stickler?
A stickler. There's that word. Pickle.
You're a strict stickler.
Strict stickler. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, did I just step in his piss? That's what I'm thinking, right? Hey guys, it's Ash and P.
No. We're back.
Yeah. Yep. That one. Good thing you can slice. Good thing you can slice. Oh my gosh.
Music is by Dustbowl Champion. To hear Dustbowl Champion's newest hits, search Dustbowl Champion on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your music.
Hey guys, it's Ash and P.
Hey.
Welcome to our first video guest podcast.
Yeah. Ash and P with Sharon, also.
AKA Dustbowl Champion.
Dustbowl. guys.
I explained to him.
Which it's funny because I always want to say Dustbowl Champions, but there's only one champion.
One of us, yeah.
Yeah.
Me.
So first of all, before we get into all of that, because I'm so curious, I know I haven't asked you a lot of questions that I want to ask you today, but Jaron is my little brother.
Baby.
The
baby.
Yeah.
He's all,
Yes.
I'm the baby. Much gold, because we all know the baby's gold.
Yes. So, in, I don't know, 1 or 2 episodes ago, I said you were the nourished one. Like you were the one that
Mom, was?
Yeah, right? Like you were the one Mom got to like nourish, and like
I love that.
Like
I love that you recognize it.
Yeah. Everyone, it was a transition. Got better.
Hey, we always say like you have your first kid, and then like in P's experience, he is a lot older than the little ones, right? And so he was able to learn. When you have them closer together, it's a little. You still learn a little less learning, but it's kind of like. I mean, you guys are how far apart in age?
16 years.
That's a lot of years.
That's a lot of years.
That's a lot of learning years for your mom.
Yeah. I mean, I remember everyone. I would like put him in a stroller.
Oh, and they thought he was yours. Huh? Yeah.
Oh, you have a baby? I'm like, no, I do not have a baby.
You just sounded like me.
No, baby brother.
Yeah.
But I mean, we just. I mean, honestly, so him and I are the same age difference as me and my mom.
Oh, that's right.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is also, I mean, and I think even more so now than when you were born. Which I don't know. I don't hear as much about like teen pregnancy as I did when we. But like when we were kids, I feel like there. I mean,
there was still a lot of teen moms.
Yeah.
Like
the whole daycare at school, like, is that a thing? I know you've been out of school for a few years
now.
When
I was, though, I would never. Maybe like 2 people.
Yeah.
It was after high school when
everyone got pregnant.
like you're an 18-year-old teen.
Right.
Mom,
Yeah.
So, I guess, I mean, maybe kids are learning.
I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
When you guys were like my high school age, was that like?
I still think there was still a lot of teen moms.
Really?
I don't think there was
not
huge.
as much as the 80s.
Not as
The 80s, I think, were crazy teen moms.
Yeah.
Maybe because their parents were all from this.
Also, maybe like what is that called? Like 16 and Pregnant or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that TV show. Maybe that's taught people. But yeah, like when I went to school, we had a daycare at my high school.
Yeah.
Like, and so my sister.
We did, but my senior year they got rid of it.
Really?
No
business.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy because I think when I was in school, I feel like the pregnant moms went to my school because I don't think they had a daycare at every school when I was in high school.
I'm sure they're still around. Like maybe not close by,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah. Like so I was at Buchanan but I think the pregnant moms went to Buchanan because the daycare. And I could be wrong about that. But yeah, there was, I mean, because you could do as an elective, you could do, I don't know what it was called, but like
work in the daycare?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you could. So the ones that had kids there, they had to. Like, you had to take one class. But, like, so my sister had my nephew when we were in junior high. She technically was a year older than me, so she should have been in ninth grade. But, you know, we were a combined campus, like, over here. And so she would walk from the junior high across the bus lot and go over there to, like, take care of my nephew and stuff. And she had a class, like, once we hit high school, she had a class over there. So she had one period where she was in the daycare. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't have to go to the. Did you go to the daycare?
When I was a baby, yes.
Yeah. Your mom had.
And I think there was actually a lot of kids at the time in daycare with me.
Well, because
so I always say, like, I started high school as an infant.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's really smart.
See, if only here.
But yeah, I mean, I think that was a norm.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, my mom, you know, it's funny. We've talked about how she doesn't save anything. I have nothing from my childhood. I don't know. All I know is everything was in an attic at.
Oh yeah,
you know that.
What were
lit
their
on
names?
fire. Chief and Bonnie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they all.
you were nourished. You were nourished.
Chief and Bonnie in your life.
Yeah.
But apparently it all like burnt to the ground, whatever. So I don't know anything about a lot of like little, you know, like little outfits or pictures. Right. A lot of pictures apparently burnt in that fire or whatever. But I do have a clipping, and it's talking about high school daycares and how.
Are you in a photo?
I am in a photo. Yes, in there, and it's
Sharon's like, "Oh, you're so." No, I'm just kidding. That is but that's cool. You still have it?
I do.
Okay, you have to post it.
Okay, I will post it.
I want to know about this. Now, do you have a lot of baby photos?
I got a ton.
Yeah.
Even I have baby photos of him. Like everyone has baby photos of him, I think.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I guess it was. I was 16 years later, right? So.
Right. I mean, your mom really did learn. Well, that too. Yeah. Not only that, but we're old, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
So cameras were old.
Yeah. It was a lot harder to carry your Kodak.
Yeah.
Camcorder around.
Yeah.
Have that thing in your pocket.
Yeah. Phone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
It's easy.
I agree. So there's that. So you guys are 16 years difference. And what else do you want to share about your...
I don't know. So Jaron is so funny because he was this like giant fat baby. We called him Michelin Man. You know, he's this little, he's like super, he thinned out. I mean, he thinned out pretty early on, but I mean, he was just this little, I think that we'd gone through so much when we were younger that I think that even though I think the first shock of Jaron was like shock and like, what? Like, huh?
So,
but then
what's the age gap between you and your brothers?
Well, you and Nico, because Nico's the youngest.
I don't know. Julian's 30 now?
Julian, so it's 7 for me and Julian. It's 9 for me and Nico.
So there's still a good gap
between me and Nico.
6.
Yeah.
So I think Nico and Julian about a year.
Yeah, they're 2 years apart.
Okay. So still
6 years. I think Jaron came as an initial like shock.
Yeah.
Like we were all taken back. But I think that it's so weird because I think that like he really is a little bit of all of us. And I feel like we all see ourselves in him in a little way. And it just, I mean, I think we all look back. I mean, there's so many times he has no idea. Like we'll be sitting there and we're like Jaron, like Jaron, like it's like he's a little bit. I see, like he's a little bit like Julian, where he is personable and he is charismatic, and everyone likes him, and he's super respectful. I mean, all my brothers really are that way, but it's like, you know, Julian kind of carries himself and puts himself out there like that. He's a lot like Nico, where Nico is definitely more creative, and he is more soft-spoken, and maybe he doesn't necessarily make his voice heard right in the beginning, but you know he's heard. And it's kind of that sneaky way of just being heard, you know? And then I feel like he's very much like me in the fact that he's like responsible, and he's like, look, I'm here to take care of myself. I don't expect anyone to take care of me, and this is what I'm doing. And I want you to like it, but you don't have to like it. But I'm not asking for your approval, because I'm just going to do it, and I'm doing me. And I'm like I feel like him and I are a lot in that way of like, I'm just going to do me. Like, you don't have to understand it, you don't have to like it, but I'm not asking you for help. Like, it's not like I'm turning you to say I need you to put gas money in my, you know what I mean? So it's like, you don't really have a say, you know?
When there's that big of an age gap, do you feel like any of that comes from, you're almost like an only child, right?
For me, I thought I felt like I was, because in like at the end of my high school career, I was by myself.
Yeah.
But I mean, growing up, I always had a ton of siblings. It was crazy.
You guys have a huge family.
Well, it's crazy because like he's closer in age to Tristan, you know, than he is to me. You know, that's crazy. Like he's closer in age to his niece than he is to me. But it's also good because it's a generation gap that like he can bridge a little bit. You know.
That's a huge blessing. No, really, because I mean, as a parent, it really is huge. It is.
What do you think about growing up as the baby?
I loved it. No, I loved being a baby. Yeah. Up until like Tristan was born. I like it's
way to go, Tristan.
I was the baby. It was awesome, and it still is awesome. I feel like I'm still treated right now as the baby, and I guess
yeah. I mean, for sure. I mean, Tristan, of course, but she's not your mom's child.
Yeah,
so it's
I
different.
think for me, I see it like I give him like, I guess, way more of a pass, you know, on things.
Yeah, that's another thing too, because I feel like I got away with a lot more than my brothers or Priscilla did.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody got away with more than I did.
I'm extremely lucky. I'm very fortunate.
The babies always do. They always do. And I mean, well, one, I think it's hard for you because you're a girl. So that's like a whole different story.
Right.
Even for me, my next younger brother, he's 16 months. But I remember being like 7th grade and my dad would be like, no, you need to be home. But my brother could still be out. And I'm like, really? Like, he's younger than I am. But it was just, my dad was like, no.
Well, I can imagine. So I want to go into all of this stuff, but you've traveled quite a bit in these last like few years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you have to understand, like my mom is better now than she ever was before, but we never went on vacations. Like we weren't like accustomed to that. Like I feel like Tony and I probably give our kids way more of that than we ever grew up knowing, you know. Tony knew like the coast
more than you.
And that was way more than me, because that was like it was a tradition. They always did it every year with his family. They did a lot of things with like family and family friends. But like for us, we really did never go anywhere. Yeah. And so it took me kind of like, we're going. And even now, like, Nico's more of a traveler too. Mm-hmm. Nico will go places.
And Destiny too.
And that helps. That helps that he has a fiance that like, let's go explore this. Let's explore that. Yeah. Julian does, and Julian is like captivated. Like he can't believe. It's almost like he's like out-of-body experience that he gets to be in these places, which is very much how I was, because you're just not used to it. You know, you're not used to it because financially it was never in the cards for us growing up to like go travel and do things.
Yeah. And up until at least with Julian, I think up until obviously his relationship with his fiance now, he probably didn't travel much,
Not
right?
really, no.
So he's still in that mindset.
So I think the older two boys are like, they travel more now because their spouses or their significant others push them to travel more. And they're like, yeah, we're going to go do these things.
Yeah.
Whereas Jaren is just doing it.
Yeah. Because you're like I think Nico's very free spirit. Like him and Destiny, I think, are very free spirit. But you probably more just because you're the baby, you were more nourished as like I feel like you're probably more like carefree about stuff, right?
Yeah, really. I mean, I wanted to travel just because I knew like I could.
Yeah.
And as a grown up, like you said, like mom was never. She didn't really want to we didn't really vacation more. Not that she didn't want to, but we just couldn't.
Yeah. Financially.
So what was your first, because I remember you getting your car and being like, I'm going to go to the coast. And I'm like, you went on a trip? But I was like, wait, can your little car make it? Like, are you sure? Are you safe? Like, what is all these things?
At the time it didn't, but that's why I wanted to get I got a new one. And then at that point I was like, all right, within a week I think I was gone. I think I really just wanted to travel just because I was stuck in whole life, pretty much.
Yeah. So, first trip out was the coast.
It was, yeah.
Okay, so first trip out of the state was
Virginia. How old were you?
I was last year. I think it was a year ago, like almost.
I swear, like in the last year, his traveling has been. It's like it went from like 0 to 100.
That's good though. Yeah. No, you're at a perfect age because
totally.
You get like, and I know it's very like cliche to say like do this stuff before you have kids and blah blah. But really, I mean, you were a young mom and I was a young mom, and I didn't ever. I guess, and I don't know, maybe because I didn't grow up traveling, that wasn't ever like an ambition that I had to go out and travel. But now it's like it's inexpensive to travel with some dang kids. It is. And when you have multiple of those kids, it's like, wow. And even like, Deja's out of state now, so she doesn't travel with us, and Kyla, she can pay for her own stuff. But it's still like, when we're paying for the boys, I don't want to be like, yeah, Kyla, you got your, you know what I mean? It's like, no.
Yeah.
Like if we're going to take care of the kids, we're going to take care of the kids. So it's like, even with only 3 and not 4, it is like you guys, this next trip you guys are taking here in November. Ooh.
Oh, it's a big one.
Yeah. I'm glad you're paying for just yourself.
Yeah, right. I mean, even the trip to Virginia was kind of crazy because I went to Virginia and then all down that East Coast. I was nuts. By myself, couldn't imagine doing it with like anyone else.
Yeah, to have that cost.
Did you go with friends?
No, I went by myself, and then I met up with my friend.
Okay, so you met up with your friend that you know from here, or you met?
Yeah, I knew them from here, and then they moved to Virginia.
Oh, school over there?
School over there.
Okay.
We traveled East Coast. Went to New York, watched the Yankees play. It was awesome.
That was amazing. Yeah.
So that's fun.
I know. So one of my favorite memories is buying and from like eBay a jersey, Derek Jeter, right? It was a Derek Jeter jersey.
I still have it.
Oh, you do? Did you wear it?
I'm too big for now, but
yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, he was a little boy, and I bought it from eBay.
Oh, and you bought it for him? I thought you meant I bought it for.
No, I bought it for his birthday.
Aww.
And I gave it to him. And I remember it, like he would always wear it. Then it would went on his
wall.
So
you've always loved him.
Yeah.
Yes. And my grandfather loves the Yankees. So to like see Jaren post pictures of like him at a Yankee game.
It was literally like I live and breathe for that thing.
You played baseball too, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And so you played all of like junior high school? or
Yeah, I played up until my sophomore year. And then
okay.
All of a sudden, like, I just got really bored out.
Was it too much?
It was.
Some,
yeah, that's kind of the culture.
I mean,
here.
they get yeah.
So, and let me ask you about that. And I say that because I think a lot of parents push this. A lot of parents push a sport, whether it's baseball, soccer, football, whatever it is, and they're so involved, right? The kids are so involved from like little league all the way up, from like, you know, whatever they're doing, and they continue with it, and then they get into their later years of high school, where it really is going to count because that's where scouts are watching, and that's where a lot of it starts to pick up. And the idea is to get a scholarship and go to school, or to get drafted, whatever it is that you want. And you were just burnt out.
Yeah, because I was playing my pretty much my whole life, and I also love it, obviously, but at that time I just thought like maybe like this I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. And so that was kind of hard on honestly it was hard on me because I mean I love this sport.
Because you were the kid. Because you were the kid that wore your baseball uniform to school.
Yeah, I mean
without it even being a baseball day, like you lived. That's
how I grew up.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm burnt out. But that is.
Do you ever regret it?
No,
or
never.
You feel like it was the right
decision?
decision?
It was definitely the right decision because I like the way my life is now.
That's good. So that's good because obviously more people our age listen to our podcast. So that's good to know because people that are, if, even though it's something that you really love, the fact that you said you didn't want to, we have a girlfriend who her nephew, he did baseball too. And he did it and did it and did it. And I think it was his senior year, right? He decided to drop out. Not drop out, but stop playing baseball. And it was like, what? Like, are you kidding? Like, you're very
mental. And I think as a parent, you're thinking like, they're making a big mistake.
Yeah, because you do worry. Well, one, like, if they could potentially get a scholarship, like, that's like, hello, that's your key to all these different things. But then two, like, are they going to regret it and stuff like that? So that's good to know that someone who lived and breathed it, and you you make that decision and you say I'm done, that it ends up being actually.
And I feel
for you. Always heavy on everyone.
And maybe this is just because I don't know the day in and day out, but I feel like it took you a long time to like pick up a bat again. And, like,
I mean, it did. I mean, but it wasn't like a mental thing. It was just like I always loved it, but I knew I wanted to do something else, like this whole music thing. Yeah. At the time I realized like I like music a lot more than I do baseball, and plus I think I have a better chance at making it in this field than I do in baseball.
Yeah. So a lot less crazy on your body, probably.
It makes for.
I mean, I'm sure that there's a lot of with carrying things. That's a lot, but I mean, you probably aren't going to tear an ACL.
I have my bass guitar. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay, so you played baseball forever, and when did you start getting into music and liking music?
Around the same time baseball got more intense, so like high school.
Okay.
Yeah. So like my
was it? Do you feel like it was kind of like a release of like tension, energy, everything?
I think it's just like music. Yeah, it's like I wanted to. I would listen to something and be like, hey, I want to do that. I don't want to just listen to it. I think I want to make my own thing now because I listen to so much music. But around high school, like my freshman year, I started to write music. I started to like write my own like lyrics and try to just be more creative because I think that's where I found an outlet in baseball too.
Oh, okay.
I got an opportunity to be like myself.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, since I've known you, I feel like you've always been like your own original you. Now, when you started playing music, were you doing a lot of covers? Like you would hear something and then you want to play that? Or did you start writing right away?
I would do both. First, like if you go like I got like a sound clip from like me like in like the 8th grade or like
really
freshman year. Yeah, I got.
Do you go back and listen to it now?
I don't. No, I don't.
But
people will send it to me and be like, "This is you." And I'm like, "Yeah, this is me."
Are Are you happy with how you sounded, or are you like, oh my
No,
gosh?
I think it's nice. I think I did something good back then.
Okay, good.
So,
That's good.
I don't regret the way I sounded. But yeah, it's pretty interesting because I started so young. So it's hearing me now.
Yeah,
Wow, I can come a long way.
that's cool. And now, so did you grow up doing music at all?
Never. And you know what? I think like my first introduction to music might have been Julian.
Yeah.
He played guitar. So like
Oh, he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was probably the person to put me on to I guess just playing music in general.
That one little band that he found, Journey, that like
Nobody's ever heard of before.
I will never forget. I will never forget. I mean, this is how dorky Julian is, but I will never forget. Like, he was like, he would play guitar. He was really into music, and I feel like he has his own story, but it's kind of like Julian finding Julian,
Yeah.
And so he listened to, but he would listen to all kinds of different music,
Yeah.
and I would always he would say a band, and I'd be like, yeah, I know who that band is, like, and I'll never forget. He was like, yeah, I just started really getting into this band. I'm pretty sure you've never heard of them. It's an underground band, and I'm like, who? He's like, they're called Journey. I'm like, I'm gonna shut up right now. Stop.
Okay. That's so funny. So, okay, I have a question then, because Jackson, I know this is different than playing the guitar, but Jackson is like obsessed with the drums.
Mm.
And so he's going to, you can probably hear him right now. That's him, right? I mean, I don't think Tristan sounds like that.
I think she does.
You think
but
she
no.
does? I don't know. I feel like that sounds like, but he is going to be starting band, and he's only ever played like in elementary school. When they make you right, but he played drums last year and he loves it, and so he's gonna do it. And I'm like I was like, are you sure? Like, you sure you want to do this? You sure? Because I don't know if you can, but he loves it. And he was like, no, I'm going to, like, I want to do it and blah, blah, blah. But how do you learn, so you learned how to write music yourself? How do you learn that?
You don't. You just kind of do it. Writing music is always like your own thing. Playing an instrument is different because you have to kind of learn how to play that. And this is going to ruin everything. It's going to be so bad.
Oh, no.
my
Okay.
gosh.
Okay. So when you come back, we'll continue this. But that is like a real question that I have is I don't understand the app. Okay, because all the notes are weird, right? Okay.
Yes,
So,
right.
I mean, I don't do music. You don't do. If you guys can hear it, it's
I'm
fine.
sorry.
It's very close. It's fine. But Tony, he.
I think they have like that gene.
Yeah.
His whole family is very
Musical.
Yes,
Yeah.
musically. What do
Yeah.
you call it?
Inclined.
Inclined.
Musically inclined.
Musically.
Yeah. So.
Did you wash your hands?
I did. Yeah, you want to feel them?
I know, but I just
You
got
didn't
so
hear it?
fast.
I heard
No.
it.
Okay.
I don't understand because, I mean, music is so weird, like all these weird random notes,
Mhm.
right? So how the heck do you just write it and like it's good? No?
Well,
you don't
I mean,
actually write it down?
No, I started through YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, so I learned how to play something, and and you figure out like where you are on the fretboard. And
Okay, this is also what I want to say. Hold on. You learned how to play an instrument off of YouTube because we did not have music lessons. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
our mom, it's not like he turned and said, I want to learn how to play this
And your mom was
instrument.
like, here,
And she was
let's
like, you know
sign you
what?
up for this.
I'm going to find a teacher and we are going to
Yeah.
sign you up for lessons.
Yeah.
And we are going to creatively flourish your, creativity. So you learned off of YouTube.
Right,
And what was the first instrument you learned how to play?
guitar, because that's what Julian.
Okay.
So did you play his guitar? Is
I
that what
did,
it was?
yeah,
So you played
yeah.
his.
Mhm.
Okay. And what kind of guitar?
It was an acoustic guitar. And
Okay.
eventually, I bought myself an electric, and then from there, I just kept racking them up because I was like able to. At that time, I had a job.
How many guitars do? Okay, well, hold on, really quick pause. When did you get a job?
When after I quit baseball,
Okay.
So my sophomore year.
Okay.
So good. Because then you can pay for this cool like
Whatever I want.
But
hobby or whatever.
this is where I'm saying he's more, and I'm not saying it like to brag about myself. I'm saying he is more like me in this way. He was not only working, but he would sell things on eBay.
You mean
eBay?
Even before, I'm glad about that. Because even before, like my sophomore year,
you were selling stuff.
yeah, because I wanted money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he would sell his stuff on eBay, and then he would make his money, which would, that would
Then
like
he could buy different instruments or whatever.
Right.
Okay. So very cool. So
hustler.
Yeah.
A bit of a hustler there.
That's what P sees in you of
Yes.
her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you would use Julian's, and then you end up buying your own. Now, by the time you buy your own, like that. By the time
Oh, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
I've been changing my ways. I don't know if you know this, but I don't know how to speak proper English.
Oh,
says-
shit.
She says by time.
By time. So Priscilla taught me that. That's not really actually how you speak.
There are words that have to go in there.
Yeah, I mean, who cares about it? It's faster. So you knew already how to play and write music by the time you got your own instrument, or no? Not
Yeah,
yet?
I mean, by that time I was extremely invested, so I really wanted to know. And so, like usually people start, like, the basis is, like, piano. People, like, you see
Yes.
kids, like,
Right.
will do on, like, piano.
Yeah.
Learn to play that, and then they'll move up to other instruments. But mine was guitar, and I guess that's unconventional. But for me, it was my basis, and I really liked the guitar. So I picked out a good guitar that I liked, and then from there, the bass and the piano. So I kind of went my own way, but yeah,
So you know how to play piano now?
a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
You do like
Which is interesting that your kid wants to play the drums. It's awesome.
so guitar, and then what did you say before piano?
Bass,
Bass.
which are the same exact.
Okay.
What's the difference between them?
The bass and the
Yeah.
guitar? Two less strings,
Okay.
and plus you play it a little differently. Well, I liked honestly I like the bass more because it looks cooler. And it sounds cooler too.
Okay.
But really, there's no difference. One's a finger style, and then the other one you could like use a pick and stuff.
Okay, so if you can play the guitar, can you play the bass and vice versa? Or
Yeah,
no?
usually.
Usually
Okay,
You
you
can do
can.
both.
Okay.
Okay. And then when you say piano, is it more that you play the keyboard and then you kind of know notes on a piano, or
Yeah,
is it, yes.
yeah, exactly. So like I have this little synthesizer, which is like a little like piano-ish, if you want a keyboard. So like I know notes
That's some
on.
crazy
So is
stuff.
it like-
Yeah, yeah.
Like, Kate, I know this might be getting a little further into it, but that whole like sound thing you have, it looks like a little metal thing.
Oh yeah! Shout out.
What is-
God. What was that brand that sent that?
Oh my
So-
gosh, that's so horrible of me. But I brought it up. But yeah, that thing is out of control. I'm like,
Playtronica. Oh geez, if you guys see this, I'm sorry, but yeah, they sent me this thing, and it was like you use it with like another person, and you touch it, and it makes you can like make sounds with it. It's nuts. It's like
it was so yeah.
What?
So
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll show you.
He has
the
it-
video.
he has it checked. Okay, if you guys do not follow him on TikTok, it's Dustbowl. Remember, I spelled it out. It's not Dustbowl. It's Dust, like DUSTBOWL. Champion. Yeah,
No,
just one
no, there's
on
no one.
TikTok, and he has tons of videos. So you'll be able to like watch videos of him playing. So good, like you can hear all kinds of stuff. But then he also played, like he tried out that whatever you called it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
It was called the Touch Me. Is what it was called.
Yeah.
They sent it to me, and they're like, "Hey, this is what it is. If you can make a video, that'd be awesome." And so I did. They sent it to me. I was like,
It was
So
really
excited.
cool though.
I didn't
That's
know myself,
very
but you're
neat.
supposed to do it. No, next time if you guys.
Oh,
We
yes.
can play with Touch Me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was really neat.
But I
But
need to watch this TikTok because I don't know what this is.
but the reason I brought that up is I think it's so crazy you can do all of this stuff by yourself.
Yeah.
Is the crazy part.
That is, to me, it's like, okay, so you think of like having a band.
Yeah. There's
you think of
multiple
like,
people.
oh man, like everyone has a creativity that they bring to the table. Someone does this, that someone else, because someone can't do this, right? Like,
right.
the reason why you have a 4-person band is because you cannot do what someone else is doing, and therefore you need to source out and team together.
Exactly.
And so for it to be a one-man show, and when I hear his songs, you don't think it's a one-man show.
Right.
Like, you think you're hearing multiple people.
Yeah. So that is the funny thing is, in the beginning, I mean, I knew that you played stuff all great.
Sorry, I know. I'm
Right?
sorry.
I'll repeat myself. No, I'm just kidding. But before we started, obviously, because I remember you talking about him playing in different shows or this and that. But it is crazy because, so I thought there was more than one person for Dustbowl Champion also. And then it was like, okay, wait, after like you sent P the stuff, and I was like, hearing, because it doesn't sound like just one person playing.
No,
And maybe
it
that's
doesn't.
maybe
It doesn't.
that's me not being musically trained to know what you can do, like as a solo person, or maybe it's just because it's crazy.
I don't think that it's the norm. I think it's a rarity that you're a one-man
Band.
show.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the sounds that come out, like between the
Like, even
different
just
beats,
this one.
like listen, like it's like the
Yeah.
and then you've got a different beat over here, and then you've got someone singing,
Yeah.
and it's like you've got all these different things going on, but it's the same person.
I'm the same way. Every time I hear something, I figure it's like it's a multiple person group.
And
But
most
you'd
of the
be
time
surprised.
it is,
You know,
right?
I know a lot of people that do the same music that I do, and it's usually it's a one person.
So, what I want to ask you that I've never asked you is your music. Oh, you hear some?
I do.
Yeah.
I know.
Hey,
I heard it. We're two friends.
But I guess the style to me would be very 80s.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
I
that's
guess
the
so.
style that I hear when I hear it.
Yeah.
And where does that come from? I mean, granted, I know our mom was like an 80s, teen kid and mom and all of that. You know what I mean? Like, she was like the 80s that we know.
Right.
It's funny, and I don't know what kind of music they played, and I cannot wait to follow up with a call this week. But my aunt and uncle this weekend went to a concert in Long Beach that was like 10 hours long. It was called like Aquanet
What?
or something. Yeah.
Do you know what
No,
Aquanet
I have
is?
no idea.
Oh, it's like the
Yeah.
It's like the 80s.
Okay, you remember the
Hairspray.
big bangs and
Yeah, that's
That
like the
was
80s
Aquanet.
I
hairspray.
wasn't there.
I know,
What
but
the hell? They should have
photos.
invited me, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I
know.
love
So,
it.
so I'm like, I feel like 80s is like in our blood because of my mom and my aunt, and that's like what they freaking loved it. It was like
Yeah.
Lisa all the time. Like, it was just like, it was very 80s a lot with them. And so I guess if I had to listen to music, like, or if I had to think back, like Tony will say, I remember as a child listening to, and his music is like
It's probably what I
60s
remember.
and 70s.
Oh.
More so music. And I feel like mine was definitely more like 80s. And then, as we got older, it was 90s, whatever. But it was like 80s that I could hear. But so there's like classic rock, he can like nail. Like
Yeah.
Tony? No, like
Oh,
Tony.
Tony.
Tony can like freaking nail, like, it's, or like rock, right? It's like, oh, that's Led Zeppelin. That's
See,
blah, blah,
classic
blah.
rock
Like,
is what I
like
relate to.
he can like totally, but not me. I'm like, oh, like seriously, like that. It's like 80s. So,
Yeah.
besides that factor, like, where does your music kind of like inspiration come from? Because I feel like
It's so wild because the only music I remember listening to as a kid was with Gramps, and it would be like 50s or 60s rock, like in his car or something like that. And then like with Mom, I remember much. Natalie though, I would listen to a ton of just like these like 80s like pop songs.
yeah.
And so that's pretty much where I get my music inspiration from, if not just like movies in general, because Mom would put a lot of movies.
Yeah, I think my mom was way more into movies and not really into music.
And then Aunt Natalie was music.
Natalie,
Yeah,
for sure.
no,
Every time I
for
make a
sure. But you have to
song.
understand, like my uncle was a DJ on the side.
Oh, okay.
Like they really were into the music scene a lot. They liked music a lot. My mom just didn't really. It wasn't like something in the background, you know.
Yeah.
So I've always just been like, where do you
Where do you pick it up?
gravitate to like mom sometimes playing music? Because I feel like by the time he came along, that was like way gone, you know. So where did his style? Huh?
So what about now? So did Julian help you learn how to play, or no? You just picked up.
I'm
Julian's
sure. At
guitar?
one point he tried to teach me, and I just didn't because he was my
Julian's
older
gonna be
brother.
like in his car going,
He's like,
it was me. I made you.
Right? Okay, so he's not necessarily like what he was playing is what you would play.
Yeah,
Yours
no.
is-
I'm sure he would pick up a guitar and try to teach me the basic like couple chords and
Yeah.
stuff. But I mean, I was
when you're listening to music, like what are you listening to?
like going to name off like a genre. Like,
Yeah, like what type of?
I like alternative.
Okay.
You know what? Lately, I've been listening to like a lot of like gothic '80s stuff. So like the Joy Division or like Susie and the Banshees. If any of you guys listen to that, all that because that's awesome.
So I know nothing about that. And when he first started talking about the kind of music that you played, that's what I envisioned, more like heavy
Or
stuff.
this is called new wave.
But-
And new wave is more genre, more like Duran Duran.
Yes. Yes.
Because-
Yes.
right.
Yeah, okay, yes, we're old, okay. But I would have expected like little crazier.
Mhm.
But I feel like yours is a lot easier to enjoy.
Yeah.
Which,
awesome.
like,
Good.
Right? Don't you
Yeah.
think, like, if you were like heavy metal, like headbanging,
Yeah, if he
like,
was, like-
crazy,
Mhm.
right? That would be super hard.
Yeah.
But I feel like all of your stuff is like, I mean, like it's a good beat. It's like good music.
Good.
You could,
Yeah.
right?
I'm
You
glad
know?
think that. Yeah. because
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to do.
So tell me a little bit about this. So we kind of announced, I know you already listened to our last podcast last week.
Say yes.
I did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, okay, great.
So you
When
know all about
we
this.
announced that you have like, I was trying to find your video, but it's like over 1 million listeners. So what
You have
is
over
like,
1 million likes. So,
likes?
Okay.
likes.
well,
Yes.
are you on TikTok and Insta like the same as far as followers and things like that?
No, I'm definitely like far and away like TikTok.
On TikTok.
More like
Okay. Which I think is a better thing though too, because I feel like you get more people watching on
Definitely.
TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
Instagram, like I'll watch for the most part, not a lot of great reels though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're mainly looking at photos, but to actually like listen and watch.
You should put a lot of time into the TikTok.
No, and that's like the best part because you can do like the least and get like the most out of one bit.
Well, it's probably really nice too as a musician because you kind of give them like a little taste, like
Bingo.
right,
Yeah, that's
like
exactly what I
here's
do.
a little bit of me, come and check me out,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I like that.
So tell us about the 1 million likes.
Man, it's gone to my head. I'm a different person now.
No, but like
Have you
what?
paid for this?
It's on Spotify. What?
Yeah, well, I mean, they're all like accumulative, right? So
Okay.
I have a ton of videos, so I think I only have a few videos that are like above like 250,000 likes.
Okay.
So
Which is still like as a normal I know everyone's like, oh my gosh, Ashton P must be massive, right?
Yeah, we have like
But
7
for-
million people that
Yeah.
follow us.
But for us normal people, like that's a lot.
Yeah, no,
you know,
to
like
me, no, it's a ton. I mean,
Yeah.
oh, geez. I'm
Or even
human.
like 250 or whatever you were
Yeah,
saying.
I know. I've
That's
had
a
the same
lot.
reaction up until I had like 50,000. It was crazy. It's still crazy.
And do you
the fact that
get
people like my stuff is awesome.
that's gotta
Do
be
you,
amazing.
okay, so you hear about like DMs and all
Are
this
people
stuff.
sliding into your DMs?
Do
They
people
are.
slide into your
Girls
DMs?
do.
A ton, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Megan, don't listen to this, please.
Okay.
Damn, girls slide into your DMs.
Everyone does. I get like not even just girls.
Even boys.
Yeah.
I need to be
Yeah,
more
yeah.
open, right? Hello, like obviously I'm an old lady.
People.
I'm an old lady. I know. Don't blame me. I'm old. It's not my fault. Okay.
We're not old.
Except we said the Eva and
Eva.
stuff like that. So I don't
It's
know.
like so when so you know how I went to Vegas last weekend, and
Oh.
I said something, and I was like, oh well, I need to make sure I have lots of energy drinks so that I can go to the club. That's what I said. I did it on kind of on purpose.
On purpose,
But she
yeah.
was like, what's the best is that we're like 40 and we're going to the club.
Yeah. And, like, do you know what does is? Yeah, you do.
The
Okay.
club, yeah.
Yeah, the club.
I'm just saying, I don't know if does a thing anymore. I don't know.
know.
It is?
I just
You guys went to Vegas?
I saw a little
I
John.
didn't.
Hey,
You guys raged a little
Lil
bit.
Jon,
Oh,
yeah.
shit. But
Yeah.
you saw Lil Jon?
You got a couple
You're
sisters.
blind.
You got a couple sisters.
No,
Yeah.
I
That's pretty.
danced to Lil Jon
You
On
already had-
stage?
all night.
You already had the bachelor party?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I went to this ice bar in Las Vegas. Like the whole bar is frozen. No, it's
Vegas
Guys,
at
you're about-
21. What happened? 21. You're 20. Yeah, 21. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I thought you shot
See who's
Stocky.
old. See who's old now. Yeah. you
Looking
can't
back,
even-
I was like, why does he say like wine? It's wine. Sake's
Yeah.
like wine.
Also, why at 21 are you taking shots of sake? Your sisters.
We went to Japanese food. It was good.
Yeah, no.
You
it's
know
awesome.
they
It's
have
awesome.
regular alcohol there too, though.
It was good.
No,
Wasn't
you
it
know,
good?
it
was-
It
no,
was
I'm
good.
not-
It was perfect. We were with our family. It was perfect.
It was just the
It
right
was like the
amount of
right
respect.
amount of like alcohol.
Which place did you guys go
Hinoyoshi.
to? I was just asking. We took family tradition was for both of my baby brothers. We took them to Ladder 49.
Thanks. Oh.
No.
Like, wine? Hell yeah, all right.
Right? Yeah, they turn it up. Yes. No, I don't know. You guys, yeah, you guys know Ladder 49? No, that's a movie. It's not Ladder 49.
I don't.
Shoot, what is that place called? Hook and Ladder. Hook and Ladder.
No, I don't.
I still don't know.
Okay.
Okay, well they're closed now. I think COVID. I mean, even pre-COVID, they shouldn't be closed. But next to Japanese Kitchen.
Oh.
Jason's gonna talk so much trash about me saying Ladder 49. He is gonna murder me. There was a little hole-in-the-wall bar by Japanese Kitchen,
Okay.
and it was called Hook and Ladder. That's where-
Shit.
yeah,
Like,
that's
when
where
I
we
was
took
21,
My
yeah.
brothers and we got them
I
both
feel
trash
like-
on their birthday.
Jaron turned 21 and he was like, the gates have opened and I'm going. And like he has
That's crazy.
experienced so much in
So much
life.
life.
Yeah. like
That's
in
been
6
awesome.
months, I feel like he's done so much.
Good. That's good. And you should be enjoying this time.
Yeah, he really should. I want to hear about your trip to Miami.
I was just going to ask about that.
Miami was great. Miami was awesome.
But first of all, when did you go to Vegas?
The week I went to Miami, so I had a fat layover in Vegas. I was there last November actually, so that was my first time in Vegas.
Wait, so you went to Vegas before you turned?
I did.
And
Yeah.
how'd you get into the clubs?
You look like
Tell
me,
me
guys.
Oh,
I've been
gosh.
looking like pretty old for like the longest time. So.
I mean, when you have a full-grown
Yeah.
mustache, it's probably easy, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, in Miami, there's a cover charge anyway. which is crazy. But in Las Vegas, there's I don't know if you guys
I mean,
remember.
like in
I didn't have a
club.
pro charge, but I'm a girl. So how did you not?
I don't know. None of my friends did. I went with like 3 other people too.
Guys?
Yes, one girl. Oh, you know what?
You better tell her thank God.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where
I was gonna say, yeah, I don't know.
I'm like,
Unless
I'm
you were
sorry.
going to
I'm
certain
here.
clubs,
Yeah.
the guys have come.
Yes, I went to one club, but mostly
You got 3 legs. You're not getting it.
it was a festival I went to, and that festival was crazy.
Was
So
it Coachella?
It wasn't. No, it was called a Day in Vegas. Days in Vegas. It was crazy. It was a 3-day festival. Man, crazy.
Will you go back?
I won't because I don't. Those kind of festivals are really my thing. I mean, I went with my friends just because my friends were going.
Maybe if Aunt Natalie takes you to Aquaman.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, yeah,
Something like that.
and,
Yeah.
and Natalie, if you're listening, please take me to that next 80s concert.
Okay, so what? Okay, were you going to Miami for fun and happened to do work stuff there, or were you going for work?
No, I was going for fun. Like
Okay.
I went with my friends to Miami for another festival, which I probably won't do either.
Okay.
I don't know.
So
Rap music
these
ain't-
festivals.
rap music ain't my thing. So
Okay, so are
Okay.
these all rap
Okay.
festivals you're
They are,
going to?
yeah.
Okay.
I get to go to a festival where I have
Yeah.
really
this is-
like
I'm
invested.
doing this.
Okay.
Ever Kendrick Lamar? Shout out Kendrick Lamar.
Oh,
Nobody
okay.
goes-
Oh, I
yes,
said
I love
Country
that.
More. I was like,
Yes.
what's Country More Festival?
Yeah, Kendrick's cool. So I saw him twice, Day in Vegas and Miami. So that was
Okay.
awesome. But
So then what happened in Miami? Because I asked you the last time, was it for business or pleasure? And you said both.
yeah, so I ended up meeting with someone in Miami with to like talk about music. Well, like I DM'd them, and they're like, "All right, well you're here, so like you're willing to travel, so like hit me up again." Like keep talking. I kept talking to him. He was like, "Yeah, if you need a manager, hit me up." And he's pretty well known. I won't drop his name, but he's pretty well known, and I know all the people that he represents. So like that was really encouraging, really exciting that he wanted to work with me. Awesome. But yeah, the main reason I was there was just to hang out with my friends and just being somewhere new. Miami is a trip. Miami's crazy.
I'm sure.
Jeez, the East Coast in general. Like both experiences, me going to the East Coast, so nuts. It's
So-
like so much different from.
We got nothing on him over there, or what?
I prefer the West Coast, but the
Why?
East Coast is crazy. I don't know. Maybe the weather. Maybe I'm just so like.
Spoiled.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sad thing.
California has everything.
Everything. We have
I
mountains,
know.
beaches,
Yeah, and,
sun all the
the
time.
East Coast is like you have to go the entire coast to experience everything California.
We also have seasons. You know?
Mine
Like
don't.
we have like spring where it's like everything's nice and blooming. And then it's like summer. Okay, it's hot as fuck, but you're in a pool or whatever, or you're at the beach.
Yeah.
Or you're
Or you don't live where we live in California, and so it's not hot as fuck.
Yeah, but you drive 2 hours that way. It's
And
like,
then
it's like something
and then you
different.
have like the fall and the leaves are changing. It's beautiful. And then you have
Yeah.
the winter and it's like maybe rain and like, you know, you can go to the mountains where there's snow and there's
Yeah.
like, there are seasons in the state that you don't get in every other place.
But I guess South
We are
South Florida only has like hurricane season. And
That's like the season we're
Was that
in
when
for.
you were there?
yeah, I almost got like pushed back a couple of days because I couldn't. But
Well,
lucky.
our oldest Deja lives over there in Florida, and so yeah, I know she'll be like, "Oh yeah," and I'm like, "Okay, are you gonna live like here?
Okay.
We don't do that kind of stuff." So I'm like,
No,
"Are
we
you gonna
don't.
be fine?"
They got the whole basement thing going on. I guess California doesn't do that.
No, but
we have,
not
we have
everyone does.
earthquakes.
But earthquakes aren't really here.
No, not this.
They're like other places. Like Jason's like, "Remember that earthquake?" Blah blah. I'm like, "No, because it was like this here." So
Okay,
no, it's not a big deal.
temperature. That was Miami.
I guess it was normal, but just the
Humid.
humidity is crazy.
Yeah.
How's your
Um,
hair look?
I-
Because curly hair people
Yeah.
on the
It's
East
permanent.
Coast,
Hey, but even in this, like this,
you don't have a perm,
I
really,
do.
do you?
I
You
do.
do?
yeah, my hair is like naturally straight.
Stop.
He's the
breaking
only
news.
one
Oh
with
my
naturally
gosh.
straight
I
hair.
cannot believe that. I
My
got all
hair is
those
curly.
children
No,
has
he has
curly hair.
No, Jaron had light hair. He had a blonde patch.
I don't know what happened with the blonde patch, but
And he had straight hair.
pin straight.
And he wore glasses.
believe this. But
He
you
wore
guys
glasses.
all wear. Well, I don't know
We
about
all
the
have
two.
bad.
We
We all
Yeah.
have fucked up
Yeah.
vibes.
You
We
guys
all
all
have
have
fucked up vibes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know about Julian and Nico, but I know.
No, they do too.
Yeah.
Sure they do. They're not
Okay.
gonna admit it.
Julian probably has the best eyes.
But does he
I
wear
don't think.
contacts?
No, I don't think he wears contacts. Nico does. Nico does. Nico had bad eyes. Jaron had bad eyes.
Terrible. I don't know how your eyesight is, but
Mine's terrible, but I think his might have even been
Been
worse
worse?
than mine because I think his started younger. Mine didn't start that
I
young.
know I was in like the second grade of classes.
Yeah.
It happens sometimes.
I know.
I mean-
my mom was almost 40.
I was down to
It
bubble.
really no, I'm just kidding.
Really not. She's like the same age as when I had Danny, but
Right.
still. I just
So
like,
poor Danny.
felt like she
No, I'm
was
just
old.
kidding. Yeah, well, because you were like,
Yeah.
it's a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I hope you guys can't hear that, but it's
Jeez.
why? No, I know you guys can, but stop.
Okay. Were the people prettier in Miami?
No. Yeah, I guess. I don't know what your preference is. So.
No. Okay. Were the women prettier in Miami?
Still, yeah, no, still. Like, I mean, I don't really. I don't know. I don't think so. I think they're pretty people all over.
Yeah, because they should all be tan.
Because
Like,
I know
if,
you hear
like,
that,
don't
like,
you think if I was
oh,
Priscilla's
like,
tone,
hot?
I would be prettier?
Like they would be tanner, and they would
Yeah.
have.
They'd be
big boobs.
beachier.
No, and
right?
the BBLs out there are nuts. So yeah, I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
know BBLs.
Yes, I do. Of course we do.
There's ladies out there with huge butts and stuff.
Okay.
Well, you're
So
closer
see,
to
there's that.
Puerto Rico and
Mhm.
Cuba, so
Yeah.
gotta hold it down there.
Yeah.
It was-
You want to have a chance with a man? No, I'm just kidding.
but I mean, like, I didn't really. I don't know. I guess I didn't really pay attention. Should have.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you know.
Well, I guess we better wrap it up because your clock is telling
Yeah.
us it's over.
It is getting crazy, and you're going to bring back the Touch Me?
I will. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to have you on again after, obviously, the SWAT people blow you up. Okay.
Yes. So,
You're gonna- Yeah, tell us all your stuff.
yeah, all your
Okay. Yeah. Follow me on Instagram at Jaron Daniel. I'm on TikTok too. Dustbowl Champion. Give me a shout out on Spotify. Dustbowl Champion. Yeah. Those are all my handles.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, so do all
Is
of
that
that.
what they're called, handles?
I guess so.
Yeah, they are. He's young.
I know.
I got this. I've done.
Yeah. So thank you so much for coming and spending time with us and letting us say all these weird, crazy
Yeah.
things. to
Come
you.
back.
I will.
Yes, and bring your thing, and maybe next time you can play something too.
I will.
That'd be fun.
yeah.
That would be
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you like?
Well, I was thinking more like guitars
Oh,
and such
okay.
thing, but he could do
You know.
also. Whatever you want.
Yeah. We will.
For you.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thanks so
Thanks,
much,
guys.
guys.